Hello YouTube, this is Flirterman here, and today we are going to be installing Docker on Ubuntu 20.04, and we're going to be installing a Minecraft server network using Bungeecord. Now, I suppose I should briefly explain what Docker is and how it works, so I'll do that. Now, in some brief words, Docker is a piece of software that allows for applications like a web server or Minecraft server to be packed into a very small package and ship it off anywhere to anyone. Now, these small packages are known as containers and can be run with little resource consumption and a very small amount of storage space. Now, as this is a brief definition of containers and can easily be confused with virtualization, I will leave a card in the top right corner up there to a better video explaining it. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the install. So first we are going to remove Docker if it were ever installed previously. Now we do that by running sudo apt-get remove docker engine, or sorry, docker-engine. You have to be very specific with this stuff. docker.io containered and runc or runc. I don't know how it's exactly pronounced. And it'll ask you for your sudo password or your user password, so you can use sudo. And it hasn't located anything because I haven't installed it before. But if it does locate anything, you need to type sudo apt-get purge and then docker, not doc, docker-engine. Yeah, I can't type if you can't tell. docker.io containered and runc, however you pronounce it. And this will just purge anything that has been previously installed. So now we're going to install some dependencies that Docker requires to run properly. And we do that by running this command. So sudo apt-get install apt-transport and then -https and then ca-certificates, then curl, then gnu pg-agent, and one more, and that is software-properties-common. And it will ask you yes or no if you'd like to install that, and we're going to say yes, because we do need to install this. And that is going to install and unpack all of the things that we need to get Docker installed, all of the dependencies for the install, I guess I should say. So we're just going to wait for this to get done, and that should be soon, as it's just getting everything done. Yeah, this is a bit of a long install if you haven't installed anything before, so I'm just trying to fill in the blank space. Yeah, just I don't want to have any, awkward random silence in my video. And now it's just processing triggers for everything. And once it's finished with a couple of things, it should be done. Well, yeah, I guess that's how it would work. And it should be done. Come on. Come on. And it's updating certificates now. Okay. Come on. Come Come on, it's almost done. Bear with me here. I'm sorry about this. There we go. Alright. So now that we've installed everything, we're going to download our certificate, or GPG signature, sorry, from Docker. So, and we do that with curl-fssl https://download.docker.com/ubuntu/gpg, and then we're going to pipe in, and the pipe key is typically above the enter key. I'm not sure about other keyboards, but I'm on an English US keyboard. And we're going to type sudo apt -key add dash. And it says OK, so it's done that properly. And now we are going to verify our fingerprint with the sudo apt key fingerprint. And then we're going to add our fingerprint that we're verifying. So that is 0EBFCD88. And we're just going to press enter. And, I didn't get any output from that. That's strange. I did type that right, yeah? Oh, I forgot an 8. There's our key. Alright, and now that's all verified. Alright, and now we're just going to add our apt repository for Docker. So that's done with sudo add-apt repository, and then a backslash, and then in quotes, deb, and then we need a square bracket, arch equals AMD64, and then a closing square bracket, https docker.docker.com/linux/ubuntu, and then we're going to have another backslash, and then $, and then parentheses, opening parentheses, lsb underscore release -cs, closing parentheses, backslash again, and then stable, and a closing quote. And I typed it wrong. We need to specify it's an add apt- repository. And well, what is that error? Arch AMD64. Oh, strange. Well, this command will be in the description, I guess. Yeah. It's because I wasn't pressing enter properly after the slashes. I think you have to specify that. But all of these commands are on the official Docker install website. So you'll just have, there'll be a link to that in the description. So you'll be able to find all these commands there. Wait, don't copyright me. Okay, and now we're just going to do sudo apt-get update, and this will update our repository list. And once it's updated said repository list, we can do sudo apt-get install, and then we're going to install Docker CE, which is Docker Community Edition, Docker CE-CLI, and I still cannot type. Docker CE CLI is the command line interface for Docker CE, and also container.io. And we're just going to press enter, and I spelled Docker wrong. There it is. Alright, now it should ask if we want to install, and we're going to click yes. And it's just going to fetch everything from the repositories and install everything. So I'll just let this go here, and I'll be back. Alright, now that we have Docker installed, we're going to create some volumes. A volume allows us to see the files that our container is using on a mounted location in our file system. After we create some volumes, we will also create some containers where our server applications will run. First, we're going to add a volume for our Bungeecord server, where we store plugins that run network-wide, as well as some config files. So, to add our volume, we will type sudo docker volume with not two V's, volume create bungee. And we press enter, and it says it's created bungee, and we know that because it says bungee right there. And now we're going to do, sorry, I don't know why I said it in that tone. We're going to do cd /var/lib/docker/volumes, and we're going to type sudo ls, and we can see that our bungee directory was created. Perfect. So, that, of course, the ls command lists all the files in that directory. Sorry. We should see a file called bungee that we just created. Now, we're going to create some volumes for our Minecraft servers. So, first, we will create a volume for the survival world using sudo docker volume create, and then I'm just going to call this survival, and then we're just going to press the up arrow on our keyboard to get back to that command, and just going to change that word survival to lobby. And that created a volume for our lobby world now. So now that we've created some volumes, we can once again type sudo ls, and we can see we have bungee, lobby, and survival. Perfect. Okay, you should have Docker fully installed, and you should have created some volumes for your containers. If you have, then we can start to make our server containers. And we can do this by pulling two Docker images for Bungeecord and a Minecraft server, respectively. And we can do that by running both sudo docker pull ITZG /Minecraft-server. And ITZG, he's made many Docker containers. I use him for my actual Minecraft server that I run myself. Great person, made some great containers. This is his Minecraft server container. I'll leave a link to his GitHub page for this Minecraft server for some documentation, as well as his Docker Hub link in the description. So let's just wait for this to pull. And it's pulled our hub. It's pulled it from the hub, the Docker hub, of course. And now we're going to pull a Bungeecord image with sudo docker pull flirtaman 7588 slash Bungeecord :latest. And shameless plug for my own container, by the way. But it's kind of bad too. I made it at like 1 in the morning, and it's very inefficient because it's just running on an Ubuntu container. But you know, it's whatever. So we're just gonna pull this down from the Docker hub, and we can see here once it's done, it's going to extract everything, and we'll have pulled our Bungeecord as well as our Minecraft server. Okay, just come on. Come on. Come on, do the thing. Come on. It's a little slow because I'm working off Wi-Fi, but honestly, that's no big deal. Alright, so now that we've pulled our containers from the Docker hub, we can create our containers now. Sorry, now that we've pulled our images from the Docker hub, we can create our containers now. And we can do this with sudo docker container, and this is creating a Docker container. And then we type create, and then -v, and then the -v option allows us to map a volume that we have on our Docker setup to a folder in the container. So in this case, it's bungee, and that's the volume that we have, and the location in the server, or in the container, sorry, is /bungee. And then we're also going to add a -p flag, and the -p flag is to expose a port from the container to the outside world. And what we're going to do with this is 25565, and that is the default Minecraft server port. And we're going to push that to 25577, and that would be the default port inside, the default Bungeecord server port. And then we're going to do --name bungee, just so that it's easy to modify if we ever need to. And then flirtaman 7588 / Bungeecord. And that is going to create... Oh, wait, I gotta... Did I type my own name wrong? Oh, I gotta do the latest flag. Sorry about that. No? Huh. Sorry. I apparently can't type my own name. What did I do wrong here? flirtaman 7588 / Bungeecord. Alright, there we go. Sorry, I guess I just misspelled my name. My own name. Whatever. Alright, and that's created our Bungeecord our Bungeecord container mapped to our volume. And now we're going to run a command, we're going to run our commands for our Minecraft servers. So we're going to type sudo docker create, again creating another container. Sorry, docker container create, and this is creating another container. And then -v, again to map a volume, survival, and then /data, and that is going to be the work directory where all of the stuff is stored in the container. And then we're going to do -p 25566 to 25565 -name survival and ITZG /Minecraft -server, and press enter. and then we're just going to rinse and repeat, except for we're going to change the name from survival to lobby, and the volume from survival again to lobby. And we can press enter there, and that will create our next container. Now, and these are running at two different ports, neither of which are the default Minecraft server port. And that's because we want our Minecraft client to see the Bungeecord server, and we don't want it to see the Minecraft servers themselves. So now, there's still a couple things wrong at this point. And those two things would be that these servers both just crashed as soon as we created them because we didn't agree to the EULA for the Minecraft server. And the second thing being that neither of the servers are using Spigot, which prevents us from using our Bungeecord in the first place. So what do we do then? Well, you need to remove them. You need to remove these containers and add some environment variable tags. Now, how do we do that, you ask? Well, using these commands, of course. So, sudo docker rm and then survival. And then sudo docker rm lobby. And now, we can run these commands to run the servers as Spigot and agreeing to Minecraft's EULA. So, and those would be sudo docker container create, and then -v survival. Oh, and I need to put a space there. Survival :/data, and then -p 25566. Again at not the default Minecraft server port. And then we're going to type :25565, which is the port inside the container. I think I forgot to explain that. But now we're going to add our environment variables, which is -e, and that would be EULA equals true. And then another one, and this is -e type equals Spigot. And then --name equals, we don't need an equal sign for that, --name lobby, and then the image, so ITZG / Minecraft -server. And that made our server a Spigot server, and it also agreed to Minecraft EULA, so it will start properly. Now, we just run this again, except for replacing all of the lobby elements. I almost said elephants. With the word survival. Still can't type. And then we're just gonna go over here. Oh, sorry. Wait. Well, great. I gotta actually remove that container because I created it wrong with the survival directory mapped to the lobby container. And really, that doesn't matter, but I still like it to match properly, just because I prefer it to have matching names, but that doesn't matter if you created it wrong. And then we're just going to map the lobby container or volume to the container, and that has created. So now we have our two containers running with Spigot, and the Minecraft EULA has been agreed to. Perfect. So now all we got to do is do some configuration so that the containers work with Bungeecord. Alright, I'm adding this in post because I completely forgot it in the video, but you need to remember to start your containers or else they will not run. I forgot to say this in the video, and I do not want to, but I've skipped over a big step. You need to have your containers started. I kind of freaked out in the original cut. I'm going to remove that bit from the final video, but I kind of freaked out just because I forgot about it. But you need to do sudo docker start bungee, and of course you have to enter your sudo password, and sudo docker start survival, and then we'll start the survival server, and sudo docker start lobby. I completely forgot about this step, but I'm adding it here just so that you know that you need to do this. Alright, back to the, original video. So, now that we've gotten all of our servers set up and running, we can configure them to use Bungeecord. So first, we're going to open our File Explorer and select Other Locations. And then we're going to select Computer. And now, if you have used Windows or Mac OS in the past, you can compare this to your C drive in Windows or Macintosh HD in Mac OS. But then again, if you're seeking to do this on Docker, then chances are you haven't used Windows for a long time. But I digress. Once we are in... Sorry, I cannot talk right now. Once we are in our drive, we can select the var directory, which is usually close to the bottom. Now, in the var directory, locate the lib folder and open that. In the lib directory, once again, locate a subdirectory, but this time it's the Docker directory. Now, it's going to prompt you for your user password once again, because the folder is owned by not you. It's owned by the root of the machine, which means you'll have to enter your password to be able to access it. Anyway, so once we're in the Docker directory, after entering your user password, we're going to go to Volumes. Now, in Volumes, we're going to see Survival, Lobby, and Bungee. These other ones Sorry about that. These other ones I created previously for other reasons, but for now, we're just going to focus on the Bungee one. So we're going to double-click on Bungee, go to _data, and we should see, after we've started our servers, a bunch of files here. Now, what we need to do is go to config.yml, and in config.yml, it's going to ask us for our user password, once again, because it's protected by, well, it's a root file. But anyway, in here, we're gonna see something like this. Now, we're going to focus first on the player limit, and if it's set to -1 by default, and if it's set to -1, then it's going to in Minecraft server selector, it's always going to appear that your server has only one more slot than there are people in that server. So I think we want to change this, even if your computer or server can't handle this many players. I just advise to change it to something so that people can see, there's not just one more slot. So I'd just recommend setting it to 200, just as a good kind of, how do I say, like a good rule of thumb, even if your computer or your server can't handle 200 players at once, I'd just recommend setting it to something like that. Now, next, we're going to head down to where it says servers, and we're just going to give this lobby bit a copy, and we're going to paste it. And then add a space, because I didn't copy it right, but you probably don't need to do that. And we're just going to change one of the lobby ones to survival. And this is just so that our Bungeecord can differentiate between, the actual lobby and the survival server. But, anyway. So now we're going to change the address bit. Now this is kind of important, because this is actually how Bungie will route your server's users to the correct server. Now, we actually need our computer's local IP address for this. And you can get that in many ways, but the easiest way is to type sudo apt install net-tools, and it should install, and then we're just going to type ifconfig. And this is going to bring up every single network interface that you have, but the most important one is whichever one you're currently connected to. And in my case, it's this Ethernet one, and my IP is 10.10.160. So I'm going to copy that and head back to our text editor and paste this in our address. And now for the survival server, our port was 25566. And it's very important that you specify that port. And now, once again, for the lobby server, we're going to paste that in and type 25567, and that's because that was our port for our lobby. Now, max players, again, needs to be changed to not 1, because, again, it'll just appear incorrectly. And IP forward needs to be set to true. And then we're going to save this file, close it, and then go back to our volumes over here. Now, we're currently in Bungie. We're just going to click on volumes, and then we're going to go to our lobby folder this time and edit first our server.properties. And it's going to ask you, once again, for your user password. And what we need to do here is go ahead and... where is it? We need to set... server IP needs to be set to this number, and if you do end up port forwarding to the outside world, you'll have to change some things about that, but for now it's that. And we also need to set the online mode, which I believe was online 21, to false. And then we save this file, and then one last thing is go to spigot.yml. It'll ask you for your user password once again, and this time it did it for me twice. And we're just going to go to the settings part and see Bungeecord. We need to set that to true. Now save this file, X that off, and then we're going to go and repeat that for the survival world. So spigot.yml, it doesn't matter what you do it in, because we're just going to restart this anyway. And sometimes the settings part will get flip-flopped, but that doesn't really matter. True, Control S, X this off, and then server properties, password, and then online mode, false, and server IP is your IP. And now we're just going to save that, and we're done. And we're, done with our server config at this point. So now we just have to go to our console once again and do sudo docker container restart, and then bungee first. And this will restart our Bungie container, so it detects all the changes. And now we restart our lobby server so that it picks up its changes properly. And we're also going to restart our survival server so that it picks up its changes properly. And at this point, we're done. So I'm going to go and launch Minecraft and show you that it works. So let me just pause this recording real quick. Alright, now that we have our Minecraft window open, we're just going to click Add Server. I'm not going to name it. And we're just going to set the address to localhost. And it should see another Bungie server. Perfect. Now if we double click on this, that's an issue. So I was experiencing this in the original recording. and I believe it's just caused by an error with Bungeecord. So we need to go to computer var lib docker and then volumes bungee underscore data config.yml password, and then let's see, this is configured properly. What would our problem be then? Let's see. Let's see. What is our problem? Volumes. I think it has something to do with these servers, I do believe. So let's just go to server.properties, enter our password. And I believe it's actually because of the server IP thing. So let's just change that back to what it was. Underscore data, server.properties, enter our password, and then delete this bit. Save it. And now let's just see, does it let us connect? Yeah, so we're going to need to restart our servers again. And once this is done, we should be able to get in. So let's just let these spin up for just a second, and we should be able to access our Bungeecord network in a minute. There it is. Encrypting, joining world, and now it should work. Of course, once the servers actually spin up themselves. Ah, and here we are. We are in our own personal Minecraft server network. And just to test that the other servers are working properly, we can type /server survival, and here we go. No. And look at, here we are. So perfect. Yeah, we're all done then. So now you may be asking, why not virtualize instead of containerize? Well, I don't really know, because I don't have a machine capable of virtualization, and containerization requires much less powerful hardware. There are definitely some pros and cons of both containerization and virtualization, but I'm not really qualified to explain that. I just know that containerization works, it's quick, and I think it's easy. Hopefully I was able to teach you a bit about Docker and why I think it's great, and I hope you are able to get this working. But I had fun teaching you, so maybe come back for more quality content in the future if I ever, decide to produce anything. Do the subscribing and liking if you enjoyed. This has been Florida Man, and I'm out.